Hey guys, Mr. Lloyd here, going to work with you today on video 2 for Wednesday, April 29th. Now, the page we'll be working on today says analyze a dot plot up top, and you'll see this dot plot right there at the top of your page. So let's get yourself squared away and we'll go through this page. So dot plots are, just as a quick reminder, these are just a way to to visualize data. And these dot plots are just simple number lines with dots placed above each number. Each one of these dots represents some value, some data collected. In this case, the label here for our dot plot is number of letters in student's last name. So the way I decipher this or make sense of this dot plot is that I say, well, there's one person with 2 letters in their last name. There's one other person with 3 letters in their last name. There are 2 people with 4 letters in their last name, 4 people with 5 letters in their last name, and so on and so forth down the number line. Okay? So using that information, let's go ahead and answer these few questions on the page. Number 12 here, how many students does the dot plot represent? The way we find this out is pretty simple. We just add up all of these dots. So it's 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. If you do all that adding up, or if you just count, you'll find 17 dots. Okay, so this dot plot represents 17 students. Each student has a last name. That's how I know that I know what each dot represents. Okay. Number 13, how many letters do most students have in their last name? So the way I find this out is I look at this dot plot and I look for the number here with the most amount of dots, or the highest amount. And in this case, it is number 5, which tells me which tells me that there 5 letters in last names is the most common or most frequent. And it's pretty simple. One of the nice things about these dot plots is that you can really just look for the tallest set of dots, the tallest bar, if you will. Okay. Number 14, I'm going to be honest with you guys and say I don't love this question because it depends on what short and long means. I don't love this question. I think it should be, as a math teacher, I think we should be a little more precise in our questioning. I'm going to say, so your answers might vary a little bit, so understand that. For my purposes, I'm going to say that 5 or less is a short last name and that 7 letters or more is a long last name. And so what I did here to find my totals, I'm going to take you back up here to our dot plot. So 5 or less, so that's everyone with 5 letters, 4 letters, 3 letters, or 2 letters. I add them up and I find that there are 8 students. And then everyone with 7 or more, so I include 7. I add the 7, the 8, the 9, the 10, and the 11. I get 8 total as well. So they happen to be equal based on my decision about what is short and what is long. If you chose a different way to solve this, that's fine. This, again, I don't love this question, so don't get too bogged down if your answer is a little bit different from mine. And then number 15 is going to ask us to use this dot plot to create our own question. And so this is also one of those questions, as you should be familiar by now. Answers can vary on this when you're coming up with your own question. I chose to ask, do more students have an even number of letters in their last name or an odd number? And of course, the way I figure that out is I start counting up the evens. There's 1 plus 2 plus 3, and there are 6 total students with an even number of letters in their last name. There are 11 total students with an odd number in their last name. So the answer to my question would be the odd numbers have a greater number of students. Sorry, there are a greater number of students with odd numbers in their last name. That would be the answer to that question if I was to write it out in a complete sentence. Okay, that is all I'm going to do for this video today. I'm going to take you through I'm going to take you on the next video, which will show the answers to challenge problems in just a moment. Thank you for watching. Please continue to ask questions if you need to. You can reach me through Zoom chats, through email, text message, phone call, remind message, YouTube comments, Google Classroom comments, just put a sign out in my yard. You know, there's a million ways to get a hold of me. Please keep asking questions. I've been enjoying being in touch with you guys. And thank you for watching, and I will see you later.